The folded note was no larger than a restaurant receipt, yet it carried a warning powerful enough to change the fate of everyone in the room. A painfully shy waitress, whose hands trembled every time she greeted a customer, slipped it beneath the coffee cup of the city's most feared mafia boss. 5 handwritten words stared back at him like a storm: "Your wife set a trap. Leave now." In that single heartbeat, an ordinary afternoon transformed into a battle between betrayal and courage, proving that sometimes the quietest soul becomes the loudest voice when a life hangs in the balance. If you believe kindness, forgiveness, hope, and second chances can change lives, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to our channel to become part of our growing community. The small family restaurant sat beside a peaceful river where sunlight shimmered across the water every afternoon. Customers loved the cozy atmosphere, homemade meals, and warm smiles, but few noticed the young waitress named Clara Whitmore. She spoke softly, avoided eye contact, and carried herself as though she hoped the world would simply overlook her. Many mistook her silence for weakness, never realizing it came from years of surviving hardship after losing both parents at a young age. She had learned that speaking less often meant getting hurt less. That afternoon, the restaurant owner quietly informed the staff that an important guest would soon arrive. Everyone grew nervous because the visitor was Graham Mercer, a businessman in public but a feared mafia leader behind closed doors. Stories about him spread through the city like legends. Some claimed he was ruthless, while others whispered about families he secretly helped when no one else would. Clara had never met him before and hoped she would not have to serve his table. When Graham entered, the room fell silent without anyone asking for silence. He was dressed in an elegant gray suit, walking calmly beside his glamorous wife, Evelyn Mercer, and 2 security guards. Unlike her husband, Evelyn constantly scanned the room with restless eyes. Clara noticed something unusual almost immediately. Evelyn excused herself several times to make brief phone calls outside, each time returning with a smile that never reached her eyes. While delivering fresh coffee to a nearby table, Clara accidentally overheard a conversation between 2 men standing behind the restaurant near the service entrance. They believed no one was listening. One quietly confirmed that everything was ready and that Graham would never leave the restaurant alive. The second man mentioned Evelyn by name, praising her for arranging every detail perfectly. Clara froze. Her heart pounded so hard she thought they would hear it. She realized the elegant woman sitting beside Graham had planned his murder. Fear nearly rooted Clara to the floor. She was nobody. If she interfered, she could lose her job, or even her life. Yet every time she looked toward Graham, she saw something unexpected. He patiently thanked the elderly waitress refilling his water and smiled warmly at a little boy who accidentally dropped his spoon nearby. He looked dangerous, but he also looked human. Clara understood that remaining silent would make her part of the betrayal. She searched desperately for a safe way to warn him. Speaking openly would expose her immediately. Calling the police might take too long. Finally, she grabbed a small order pad, tore off a corner, and quickly wrote a single sentence with trembling hands. "Your wife set a trap. Leave now." As she served his coffee, she quietly slid the folded note beneath the saucer without looking directly at him. She walked away before anyone noticed, though every step felt heavier than the last. Moments later, Graham unfolded the paper. His expression did not change, but his eyes sharpened instantly. Years of surviving dangerous situations had taught him how to hide surprise. Without alerting anyone, he casually glanced around the restaurant, noticing details he had ignored only minutes earlier. 2 unfamiliar delivery trucks were parked outside. One emergency exit appeared strangely blocked. Evelyn suddenly insisted they stay longer for dessert, even though Graham knew she usually hated sweets. Instead of confronting her, Graham calmly stood and thanked everyone for the excellent meal. He announced that an urgent business matter required him to leave immediately. Evelyn protested with convincing disappointment, but Graham insisted. Within seconds, his security team escorted him toward the front entrance. The moment they stepped outside, a speeding vehicle raced toward the restaurant parking lot. Graham's guards reacted instantly, forcing him behind a concrete barrier. The vehicle crashed through empty outdoor tables before stopping against a stone wall. The carefully planned ambush had failed because Graham had left several minutes earlier than expected. Police sirens soon echoed through the streets after frightened witnesses reported the crash. Several attackers fled, while investigators quickly uncovered evidence linking the failed assassination to an organized criminal conspiracy. Evelyn's secret alliances were exposed, and the carefully crafted life she had built collapsed under the weight of her own deception. Throughout the investigation, Clara expected revenge. She believed powerful people never forgot those who interfered with their plans. Every customer who entered the restaurant made her nervous. Every unfamiliar car outside caused her heart to race. A week later, Graham returned alone during another sunny afternoon. The entire restaurant became quiet once again. Clara hesitated before approaching his table. Instead of fear, Graham greeted her with genuine gratitude. He placed the same folded note on the table between them. It had become worn from being carried in his pocket every day since the incident. He admitted that countless people feared him, respected him, or wanted something from him, but very few had ever risked everything simply to save his life. Clara had expected anger because of who he was. Instead, she found a man deeply shaken by betrayal and forever changed by unexpected kindness. Their conversation remained simple. Clara explained that she had acted because every life mattered, regardless of reputation. She believed no one deserved to die through betrayal. Graham quietly reflected on those words long after leaving the restaurant. Over the following months, remarkable changes slowly spread throughout the city. Graham began closing several criminal operations that had caused suffering for innocent families. He redirected money toward community centers, scholarships, and shelters for struggling children. While no one believed his past could simply disappear, many noticed he was trying to build a future different from the one he had inherited. Clara never accepted fame for her courage. She continued serving coffee with the same gentle smile, though she no longer lowered her eyes whenever someone thanked her. She had discovered that courage was not the absence of fear. Courage was choosing compassion despite fear. Many people later asked Graham what had convinced him to change after decades of violence. He never mentioned power, prison, or betrayal. Instead, he spoke about a frightened waitress whose simple act of kindness reminded him that even someone lost in darkness could still choose another path. Before this story ends, we would love to hear from you. Please leave a meaningful comment telling us whether you believe one act of courage from an ordinary person can completely change another person's life. The old folded note remained safely tucked inside Graham's wallet for the rest of his life, not because of the warning written on it, but because it reminded him that hope often arrives through the quietest people. Clara never became wealthy or famous, yet her single decision saved a life, uncovered betrayal, and inspired redemption that reached far beyond one restaurant. Sometimes the greatest heroes are not the strongest, the loudest, or the most powerful. Sometimes they are simply ordinary people who choose compassion when fear tells them to walk away. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another emotional journey. Remember, even the smallest act of kindness can become the beginning of someone's second chance.